Hello everybody, it's Haywork Room and welcome back to my Strangetown Let's Play. Now last time we were playing the Curious Brothers, where we had Vidkun abducted as per the scripted events and he returned pregnant, although he had only just started to show that when we left him. Meanwhile, Pascal gave birth to his pre-pregnated child, who we named as per the canon Sideshow Curious. Pascal then surprised us though by being re-abducted and has only just returned pregnant. He is not yet aware of that, but we are. Now today we're actually going to be here with the Spectre family as per the pre-guide recommended play order. So, who is buried in Olive Spectre's garden? Will the mysterious ancient outcast leave her fortune to her niece Ophelia, or as rumoured, again that needs to change, as rumoured, to an unnamed heir? Let's enter the household here. Now there are different ways that people like to think of Olive Spectre. Some people see her as the Witch of Strangetown, and that's cool. If that's how you want to play it, that's perfectly fine by me. I think of her as a little bit of a tragic figure. I'm just going to change this by. I always do this wrong. Is it a fig tree? Yes, it is a fig tree. I think of her as a little bit of a sad figure. So if we go and have a little look at her memories. So she started love life perfectly fine. Potty trained by her dad. Grew up well. Then she had her first brush with death, the pizza delivery lady. Became an adult, got a job. Was going on very nicely, happily kissing her boyfriend early demise. She got engaged and then she was left at the altar. After which he mysteriously died. Now maybe that is slightly coincidental, we'll say. And her little sister grew up. No, her sister grew up. And then she also saw the death of her would-have-been brother-in-law, many others. Her sister got engaged, got married, yet more death. And then death came for her parents. She carries on getting promoted, more death. She found love for the second time, rigor mortis, got engaged, got married. He very shortly after died. It's been death all the way through for her. Engaged, married, and then he died. And then her one time of woohoo was with the Grim Reaper. And then one bright spark in her life, she had her son nervous, and he was cruelly taken away from her. She found love for the last time, married, almost immediately died. And then also her little sister, her brother-in-law, and that's when her niece Ophelia came to live with them. I think she's been tragically unlucky, Olive, and now she thinks that death is the only thing she can bring to the world. I don't see her as an evil sim. I see her as a very tragic one. She is also one not long left for this world. She's already 63 days old when you start to play her, and typically she dies in about 2 days of play. I'm going to lock in this one to retire. What I usually do is keep it locked for the time being, in spite of the pop-up that prompts you to have her retire that will come up in a moment. And that way we can do it just before she's about to die, and then she can die nice and happily in platinum. So she is incredibly neat, middling shy outgoing, middling lazy active, much more serious than playful, although she became more serious with age. She's also very grouchy, but she did mellow a little bit with age. She was born with 1 point and then ended on 2. Olive will stop at nothing to get what she wants. She spends her time collecting mushrooms, sharpening sticks and excavating her yard. I think the game wants you to play her as evil, but she's just never struck me as that. She's very interested in crime, food, money, health, environments, paranormal, weather and animals. But she's not at all interested in entertainment, culture, fashion, sports, work, school, toys, travel. Mild. It could take or leave sci-fi and politics. We don't know her one job. I don't know if I've ever actually found her hobby. She doesn't really live long enough to find it. As you can see, she's already a level 10 party guest. I'm not going to go changing that. Not that it makes an awful lot of difference, but she's attracted to smelly, unemployed Sims. This really isn't building a very, very good picture of her, is it? Now, it doesn't make an awful lot of difference, but would she have had a degree, do we think? I actually think she would have done. I think I can see her as a degree sim. Let's also let the lifetime one choose it as well. I don't think I'll go changing her. She's got max out 7 skills. I mean, it's not going to happen, but I don't think there's any point. We don't need to change. Let's upgrade her to a degree. What do I think she had? I think she had a literature degree. Just pick a random one. The reason I quite like literature as the degree for her... I don't need that anymore. I think I'm going to lock in the want to see the ghost of Vigor. That was her last husband. Maybe she's just not seen him yet. The reason I'm going to have a literature degree for her, just because I find Ophelia's name interesting. So Ophelia is the child of Willow and Creole. Now in... What is it in? Is it Hamlet? Is it Hamlet? I think it is Hamlet. Give me one moment. I'm actually going to look this up before I go giving you incorrect information. Maybe I'm not. Maybe this isn't going to work for me. Ophelia. It is Hamlet. So in the Shakespeare play Hamlet, Ophelia falls from the willow tree and drowns. And once their ghosts come out, you'll see they both of her parents drowned. I just quite like the little nod there. Obviously, Veronaville, another one of the pre-made neighbourhoods, is all based around Shakespeare plays, but I thought that was quite a nice little touch on that one. So Ophelia is the orphaned niece of Olive Spectre. Again, she doesn't really get on with her aunt, but her life has been, so far, pretty tragic. I don't think we can blame her for that. She had a happy start. She was taught to walk, talk, use the potty. She grew up well. She met 2 of her classmates, and then her parents died, and she was shipped off to live with her Aunt Olive, who she didn't really know. She grew up badly, but she did manage to stay in touch with her school friend Johnny, and is now in a relationship with him. Now, Ophelia is very different to her Aunt Olive. Ophelia is middling on the sloppy knee, erring towards the sloppy, more outgoing than shy, dead centre on lazy active, more serious than playful, more nice than grouchy. Ophelia's hobbies include hypochondria and monitoring the air quality. She worries about the future and the past and the present. She's had a lot of things happen in her life. Let's hope the rest of Ophelia's life turns out to be more filled with joy than the early years were. She's very interested in entertainment, health, culture, fashion, the environment, travel, fairly interested in animals and food, and money. Actually, we'll include money in her very interested, but not at all interested in politics, crime, sports, work, school, paranormal, weather, toys, or sci-fi. She is living in the wrong part of the world for not being interested in paranormal and sci-fi. Now, Ophelia wants to become a world-class ballet dancer. I actually really like that one on her because Ophelia, as we will discover, has a music and dance interest. So actually, I'm going to keep her that and get rid of the lifetime want chooser. We don't need it for these ones. I'm going to lock in find a job. But to begin with, let's invite her boyfriend Johnny over. So Johnny Smith is going to come over. Actually, just out of interest, one of their turn-ons. She likes custom hair, mechanical. Not a fan of the overweight sim. That's fine. Johnny isn't. So let's just move. I'm just going to do a very, very small bit of remodelling because if you don't do this, the doors in her room don't shut. And she must be a ballet dancer, so I'm going to buy her the ballet bar. Now that's... I'm going to lock those doors. Those are just hers. That's for the household. Olive wants no one to be using her bathroom. That is just hers. That's for the household, that's for the household. I don't really know. It's a weird layout, this house. We've got two random small rooms. Now, what you're meant to do is have Olive retire. She then very shortly thereafter dies and leaves everything to her son. Her son, nervous subject. But what I'm actually going to do is have her befriend nervous subjects instead. Oh, what are you off to do? Oh, yeah, you're just sitting there. That's fine. You can do that. Actually, you've just reminded me I do want to move the telephone. I don't want to move the bed. Move the telephone out of Ophelia's bedroom, otherwise it just wakes her up. So you can go and invite your... Not invite, you can go and talk to your son. I'm just going to set the gate to disallow pets. It just means that you don't have the wolves coming in to dig everything up. She wants to gain a cooking point, that's fine. But I think you're going to go out and see Johnny. Now, I always think if Olive didn't really know how to handle a child, especially another child that was in bereavement. But I don't see them as unkind to each other. I know some people play it as Olive wouldn't let Ophelia leave the house. I don't really see that. I think she was more unsure of her niece. Oh, okay, just greeting him for Force the Kiss one, that's fine. You don't really want to do anything else with him, do you? Oh, but you can hold hands, that's sweet.
How is he done? Gabalon.
Apart from that, though, you're alright. So let's say goodbye to Johnny. Go and find a job. Olive does always reject this, the go out with Johnny ask, so let's not bother. It's about grey clouds, the weather. She seems to be getting on very well with her son. I have plans for Olive and Nervous. It's something that I really like to do. It will become clear. Now, what job options do you have? You want to become a ballet dancer, so really you want dance. Education? I think that would make sense for her. She is a family sim after all. Entertainment is close. Architecture is not. Culinary. Politics. I think I'm going to have her take the education want. She wants to hire a maid. There we go, let's take education. And she now wants to go off to university. She doesn't really need to go off to university, does she? Ophelia. I think I'm going to leave that unlocked for the time being.
Ha! Topella. Quella.
Olive. Oh, and one thing, if we set up their points, I think she can just have all of the motives. It doesn't make an awful lot of difference. Maybe I'll take that away. Is that way she's going to achieve her lifetime? Well, just have the motives, make life easier on me. Ophelia. Ophelia can also have motives for the time being. She doesn't have many points to spend. She's not had a very happy life. Now Ophelia wants to gain a cleaning skill point.
Ma, sonna te Lenny.
Oh, that's a different maid. I liked when you used the one, so... I did once spend a while trying to get a mod to let you choose the service, but it never really worked for me. I don't know if I just didn't have quite the right expansions, maybe.
Ah, mojikata bajwa.
But it's okay, if you click and redial, you get a different
And
choice,
support us
usually. There was some theories about which part of the phone you click. I don't know. I just tend to do it randomly and see what comes.
Ah, oh, plagwania.
That was a male maid.
Boage? Connaissez. Ma, sonna te Lenny.
So actually, I'm going to break my own rule here. Knowing what I've got in store, I am going to hire the male maid.
Think so? Oh, bashelika.
Alright, you're going to turn the computer off. You want to gain a skill point. You also want to buy a telescope. Okay, we can do that. Combine the two, can't we? Go and stargaze. You want to see a ghost. That shouldn't be difficult with your house. You have a whole garden of them. Including, interestingly, Lila Grant. She's actually the most recent addition. The one thing I do like to do is I like to have families together. Now, where's... Creon Nicholas is over there. Gonna bring euthanasia there. So there's two Middlemas. Moses. It's Tim Liedermanners. There's early. I just want to swap those two around, really, then. There's euthanasia. Where's euthanasia? Euthanasia. There's euthanasia. There we go. I just think it feels nicer to have them close to one another. Yeah, you wanted a telescope, you can go and play that. I'm not bothering to buy her a fancy one. I have no interest in getting her abducted. You don't gain. Also, that's her hobby, science. Interesting, okay. Actually, I want logic cooking. I might just lock in the cooking. But you can go and sleep. If she wants a point, I may as well let her gain a skill point. Let her do that until she either gets scared by a ghost or until she gets tired enough to go back inside. Now what you could do is you could ship off her little garden there, but I quite like having them. I think it adds to the lore of the house and the neighbourhood. I didn't show you Olive's family tree. There she is. Because of a mod I have, she still remembers being married to her last husband, Ichabod Spectre. There was a nervous subject, her son, who doesn't acknowledge relationships to the Grim Reaper, but he's the only sim that Oliver's wooed with. By the way, that is not safe practice in the actual gameplay. Do not try and bring the Grim Reaper for woohoo, it will corrupt things. What would she have been at the time? Interesting, I wonder. So she gave birth to him here. She was married to euthanasia, so I'm thinking she would have given birth to him as nervous euthanasia. Probably wasn't called nervous at the time though. And there was her sister Willow, Willow's husband Creon, and Ophelia, who we did see in the family tree. I said she was the little sister, but maybe she wasn't. Let me have a look. She doesn't remember Willow being born. And she does remember Willow growing up. Right, so she was taught her skills. When she grew up, so then she got to a teenager. And could be either way. I think of them as little sister. And there's nothing really to tell me that I'm wrong on that, so that is fine. Are you close to getting your point? You are.
What's a TVD? Yeah.
I know you've got another one. No, you need to sleep. Here is happily sleeping. If she keeps that want through to when the day she grows up, she will get to go to university. Either let them go because they're rolling the want to go, or if they have a lifetime want to be in a job that I think would logically need a career, need a degree, they go off to university in order to get it. The only Sims that are allowed to cheat are ones that literally couldn't have gone to university because they were made before the expansion was out. Oh, we've ticked over into Sol already. Okay, that's been a very, very short rotation, but that's fine. These first ones always were going to be just as we got everyone up to speed on the first day of the summer. So let us save that. So we haven't had an awful lot happen here. Ophelia did get a job. For the first time I discovered that Olive's hobby is science. But I think we're going to see a lot more of their gameplay happen in the next rotation. So next video we're going to go on to the other corner of the map over here with the Beakers, a very interesting family in the house in the neighbourhood. See you then, folks.